I know. Sorry, I'm dealing with contractors and everything, and
Yeah,
got a lot
okay.
going on,
Well,
obviously.
we are live. So this is Andy Revkin of Columbia University's Climate School. This is a total pop-up opportunity to meet with Noah Abrams, who lives in one of the neighborhoods devastated by the Marshall Fire. It's called the Marshall Fire because of where it originated. And the other day, you were tweeting pictures of the 27 homes, of which your home is a part, that were fairly new construction and fire resistant cement fiber siding and some other features. And it's just wonderful to know that your homes are intact.
Thank you.
So maybe could you just say who you are and where you are? Like, remind me which neighborhood it is?
So my name is Noah Abrams, and we live in the Rogers Farm community, which is in Old Town Superior. Old Town Superior was pretty much devastated during the fire, but when we came back to our homes the next day, they were all still standing, all the ones that had been built within our community.
What did that feel like? Because you're surrounded by families who
Uh,
lost everything.
yeah, it was, well, first it was confusing because we had all kind of written it off and expected that our homes would be gone. So, there was a feeling of joy that our home was still here, but, at the same time, wow, we're just surrounded by people we know in the community that have lost everything and are going to need to rebuild
Unbelievable.
from scratch.
Can you do me a favor? See if we can tip your phone horizontal so we can get a wider view.
Oh, yeah,
Let's see
great.
if it readjusts.
Let's see.
Oh, maybe not. It's kind of stuck in. Okay,
Oh,
go
no.
back to the other way. And just could you just sort of show us around a little bit? Just
Yeah, sure. So these are some of the homes here. Um, and you can see, this one's white. You can see all the charred parts on it, maybe. But it used to be a bright white color. Now it's a little bit,
wow,
you know, yellowish and with black spots on it, but it's still standing. Everything in the home was the inside of the home was, except for a lot of soot and ash inside the house, everything was as we left it. But if you look across the street, you can see, total devastation all the way down
unbelievable.
the entire block uh, across the street. Everything's gone. But on
Unbelievable.
this side of the street, everything's still there.
Wow. And again, it's kind of too soon. The people who do these engineering analyses, even during the fire, there were some people saying it was very streaky. There were these like the wind was so high that the flames were going in narrow corridors. And I've been writing about fire resistant design for years, based on California experience and the like. And I would love to think that it was that made the difference, or a proponent of building
Yeah.
this is this idea of living with wildfire, that you can do it if you design correctly. And of course, but tell me, here's an important question, Noah. A number of my friends from the Boulder area said this one really caught them by surprise because these are densely built, sort of ex-urban, suburban, urban areas, not your typical zone where the fires happen. Did that feel like it was in the wind the other day?
Yeah, absolutely. I grew up in the foothills. My parents still live in the foothills of Boulder, and I had decided I don't want to live in the foothills myself because I was worried about the fire danger. The fire danger was always looming when we lived in the foothills. In fact,
Wow.
we had to evacuate once, and it was a really scary time. So when we bought our house out in Superior, I thought, okay, this is great. We're close enough to open space, and I can still enjoy the nature, but I'm not in the foothills where we have forest fires. Well, little did
Wow.
I know that we would be facing a fire every bit as devastating as some of those forest fires they get in the foothills.
Oh my gosh. Were you all home at the time?
Well, we were, and I didn't really know about it until I was alerted by a neighbor. And even after looking out the window, I didn't think much of it because I didn't think there was ever a chance that we'd have a fire that would rage through these suburban areas. But after about 10 minutes later, I started to see smoke coming by our windows, and we evacuated in about 5 minutes.
Wow. Did you have like a plan, or were you impromptu?
No, it was very much impromptu.
Wow.
When we lived in the foothills, we always had like a go bag, and we always had an idea of what we do if there's ever a forest fire. But living here, I never even thought it was a possibility. So we hadn't even thought about it. You know, I grabbed a few of the things and you know, got out as quickly as I could.
Wow. Do you have family, kids, and stuff?
Yeah, we have two kids. One is ours. One is we're guardians of because the parents haven't been able to get out here because of COVID. So, but we've been taking care of two kids, and
Oh my
now we're
God.
staying in a hotel in Boulder with two kids.
Wow.
Yeah, our homes, even
So
though our homes are still standing, there's still a lot of cleanup that needs to be done.
for sure. I know you have to go in a minute to meet with contractor like, but could you maybe walk over to one of those areas you showed me some pictures of where you could see that embers or some
Mhm.
burning material
Yeah,
had
sure. Yeah,
stuck on the
I can take
siding?
you over to our house where we actually had some of the we had molten pieces of plastic that had stuck to the side of our house. I can show you that right over here.
Wow. Beautiful day.
Yeah,
Is the president around?
he's supposed to be coming through here today. So I'm not sure what time, but uh, yeah. So this is our house here, and if you
Yeah.
look here, there's a get that here. There's a piece of plastic here that's melted to the side of our siding, and you can also
Wow.
see some other spots where there's some burn marks and stuff
Wow.
just up
Ac-
here.
Actually, what you just showed is pretty interesting because it indicates it was material from another structure, not from a forest or the grassland.
Yes,
You know, this is one of the issues.
yeah.
The
And if you look across the street, there's a you know all this stuff burned right across the street. So that was coming right here, I'm sure, with close to 100-mile-an-hour winds.
Wow. Well, and what's your plan for the the future? Are you going? It sounds like the house was that whole. You said there are 27 houses that were they built as a group?
Yes, they were built by a builder who built 27 homes in this area, and so you were able to come in, and they had a few different floor plans you could choose from. Um, but and then you could pick your finishes. So it was a new build by a community doing a new build subdivision.
And what's it's I mean the hardest part of I think what you're dealing with probably is again the utter this strange phenomenon where all around you is destruction.
Yeah,
I just 4 weeks ago I was writing about the tornadoes in the southeast, the multi-state tornado, and same thing. You know that tornado has a very small footprint.
hmm
There was a general warning, but you know it killed a number of people along a certain line and took down these houses. What is it? What does that feel like in the sense that you're in a zone of general hazard? You really kind of came through beautifully, but you're in a community that's really going to be suffering.
yeah. No, absolutely. Well, I think that fortunately, a lot of the homes in our community didn't burn. So, there's a lot
Right.
of my neighbors who are in the same position I am. I'm very thankful for that. But yes, at the same time, there's, other people around here who you see come through looking at their homes and, crying, and they've lost everything, not just
Yeah.
their home, but everything inside. Because that's the biggest thing for us is we were able to get through this and we still have all of our personal belongings. We didn't lose anything too valuable.
So, what's your message to anyone else who's living in this area that or thinking of moving to the region? You know, this is still a growing region. There's
Yeah.
more superiors and more the between Boulder and the other cities along there. So, what's your advice, having moved from the foothills into town?
it's, I mean, this is kind of once in a lifetime thing, I believe. But one thing that's been amazing is the community and all the support we've got from everybody. It's just amazing. Everywhere you go, people are giving away free meals and free gift cards to go get the
Yeah.
necessities you need, and everybody's really coming together. And I think after a disaster, you tend to have a lot of that. And this community is a great community. A lot of nice people who are willing to give.
Do you have the sense you talk to people about fire risk? that don't think you're safe? Is it?
That's a good question. I never thought it could happen here, but it did. So there's not really a whole lot I can say about that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't imagine they would happen again, but
Well,
in these days when you have really dry conditions, anything can happen.
yeah. One of the last things is uh, this is incredible to see this happen with this tiny evident rate of deaths. Initially it looked like no deaths, and I think at last counted.
Can we continue this?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
That's
really
fine.
got to get going, but
You should go.
sorry
I,
about that.
I
I
thank you
hate to
very much for your
cut
time.
you off, but let me know if you need anything else.
Take care. I really appreciate this. Good
All
luck.
right. Yeah, absolutely. Anything else you need, I'm here.
Take care.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye. Well, that was just an opportunity to connect directly with someone in the fire zone who lived in housing that did not burn, which is a wonderful, I wouldn't say stroke of luck. That this is a group of 27 homes that were designed not to burn. You could see a piece of burning plastic essentially stuck to the fiber cement siding, and it didn't catch and didn't propagate. Just the kind of thing you would hope for. I'm going to show a couple more pictures that Noah sent just to give you a little bit more of a sense of these homes. And then I will be writing this up again for my bulletin. So these houses have what's called a fiber cement siding. It looks like wood. It is very fire resistant. It's not like what it looks like. And a couple more, whoops, sorry. There's a couple more images here. And he showed you, this is what happens when there is wood. This is a deck, a fence around a deck, and they're very different outcome. Luckily, it didn't spread. Here's another picture. The landscaping in this new development is pretty much empty of shrubbery, trees. Some of that's because it hasn't grown up yet. So in a way, that's a stroke of luck. But that shows you that the perimeter of a home matters a lot. As Jack Cohen and the other people in my blog post have said for many years. And then here's one more look at that piece of burning plastic that stuck to the artificial siding, and luckily wasn't able to propagate the flames. And finally, a general shot of the neighborhood. One side of the road destroyed, the other side not. And obviously there's many factors that could have led to that. But it doesn't hurt to have those houses built for fire. And even though they're in an urban area, this shows you several things that were discussed in the story that I wrote the other day, which is right here. Building forward safer where communities grow into wildfire danger zones. So I hope you'll check out revken.bulletin.com and do what you can to help. BoulderOEM.com is the emergency management website, which has resources of all kinds, including places to donate. And look around your own town, your own community for vulnerabilities that can be reduced, and see what you can do to make things better. This is Andy Revkin, Columbia University Climate School, ending a quick pop-up Sustain Wet webcast. And I hope you'll join me in the future for more of the journalism that I try to do, focused on solutions, so that images like that picture taken the other day by Andrew Hyde don't recur. Take care.